So the other day I found myself in serious need of a powerful winch. So I went back to a previous job where I had dropped a black walnut tree, and the dude had originally said he wanted the log, but then he changed his mind and said I could have the log. So I brought my rink-a-dink winch, the one I've got in my trailer. It's okay for little stuff, but it just wouldn't even move that log. So no more rink-a-dink. I'm gonna see if I can set a winch up on the front of the truck. All right, I think this thing is held on with that bolt, one of these bolts, and maybe these dudes. I'm just gonna start kind of taking things apart. These lights were always very good to me. Kind of looking in here, I'm seeing some different bolts and things. I think I'm going with this guy. Oh, it's actually super loose. That's good. It was good when your main bolt holding on your bumper is loose. Now, as with all things vehicular and mechanical, I feel the need to announce as a sort of disclaimer that I don't really totally know what I'm doing. Like, I've definitely never pulled the front bumper off this truck before, or even seen it done, but I figure it's one of those things just kind of dig into, and eventually it just kind of works itself out, maybe. The main goal, I think, at this point is just to keep it from falling on my foot. So, what do you think? Maybe just like a little bit of grease on that one before putting it back in? I mean, I would say so. Doesn't look that bad. The entire bumper is hanging on a zip tie. Never underestimate the importance and power of the zip tie. That's gonna be it. Sort of, maybe. Oh, that is just so wrong, you know? It's like you wash your truck all the time and you pull the bumper off and you realize you're just carrying crud around with you. Definitely some crud in here. I like the little mini radiator in addition to the radiator. More crud. All right, but what we gotta do is we gotta go get the new equipment, the front hitch and the winch. Now this stuff has just been sitting here for months. This is the front hitch. That's what we gotta put on. I think I bought that last summer. And then I was fiddling with this bad boy yesterday. The winch and a little cradle that it kind of sits in. It's bolted to the cradle, and I pulled the line out so I could get it all installed, but then I can't retrieve it without hooking it up. So yeah, that's a little bit messy. Then there's the big old unit that hooks in with the winch. I was kind of hoping this winch just was wired up, but instead it's got this big old thing. So we're gonna have to find a home for that. Now I understand there's something unceremonious about this. I've got to try to figure out instructions. It's just never been my strong suit. Oh my gosh, drill hole exists. Sadly, I've got to take off these big old Mad Max hooks. So I'm just spraying a little Uncle Wiggly on there. Big surprise, the bolts are rusted. I mean, I guess I could have got the good impact driver, but this discount thing, it usually works for me okay, but oh man. Ah, yeah, so it looks like it had a little bit of the old Loctite on there. Red stuff. That stuff's the worst. But I guess with the pull ring, you kind of want that. Kind of bogus that you got to remove the lights to fit this hitch on here, but maybe I'll find another place for them. I just kind of like these lights. And I got to fit the hitch, and I think we're going to need some new holes. Yeah. Alright, I've removed my favorite lights. I've drilled holes in the bumper. I've removed my favorite zip tie, and I guess it's time to hang the hitch on the frame. According to the instructions, which read to me as just a little bit bossy, I'm supposed to hang this guy up and then pull the metal sliver out of my hand. And then I can put my hooks back on, which makes me kind of happy. See if those holes line up at all. You know, they're not bad. Tested tough, it says. 9,000 pounds. I gotta tell you, I just love the hooks. Now, in case you didn't know, you can get these big old, massive, discount, low budget bottles of Loctite. The red stuff, you know, stuff that never comes off. You can get these big old bottles much cheaper than for the small bottles of the good stuff. So that's what I did. Save money, lower quality, but you get more of it. Ralph 5271. I don't really trust the impact to get those things tight. Plus, especially since that impact is not really very impactful. Let's see, loose. Pretty tight. I reached the challenging part of the project where I actually texted Melissa, who's in the house working, and asked her if she'd come out and help me. It's a little bit embarrassing. Alright, here's the situation. It needs to be kind of pushed this way. It's not super heavy, but it's just wibbly wobbly. There's like this little superficial bolt in here.
Do you want me to hold it up when you do that?
Yeah, a little bit, like right there.
Yeah. Kind of. Try that.
Okay, this side's on temporarily. Bumper is tied together. Still got those old light wires that I just gotta figure out what to do with, but I did snake the old heater wire over there, so it's just kind of dangling. I should do something pretty with that, but I haven't yet. I mean, it could be slightly heavier, I guess. It's possible. Alright, this is the control unit. It's kind of big and bulky and I hate it, but I believe you can slap it on here. I had to pause the game for a couple days just to go out and do some jobs, and this is what I came up with, just this kind of zip-tied license plate thing. At the end of this, remind me, I got to put some kind of license plate on the end of the winch. I feel like you need a winch to move your winch. I don't know if I'm the only one to find this stuff just absolutely cursed when it comes to installing it. I feel like half the time I try to slide it over, and then there's the times that it goes on like a little bit smoothly, and I'm thinking, what did I do right, and how do I do that again next time? And then it just starts hanging up again when I do it that way. Now this guy, I guess I can bolt down somewhere, make it kind of solid, so kind of think about that if I wanted to dangle or bolt. Up top, I did connect the ground, but I still got to hook up the juice. Just kind of waiting on that. And then the old winch itself needs the brother or sister or whatever of this fitting, so the same deal on the winch. It'd be so nice to have a legitimate cover for this whole big mess, but I've just been kind of doing this, hoping for the best. If anyone's got an idea of like a really good cover, basically it's just where my battery feeds my other battery and a bunch of other stuff. It's just kind of messy, but oh. All right, final check. I got this guy clicked together, and I don't think I'm gonna mount the other side just because it sort of needs to be free in order to reach its buddy there. So maybe some zip ties or something. Wires are all in here in the wrong places up against the radiator and stuff. I got my hot, I got my black. I think I'm ready for a little practice. So with the winch hooked up, I thought it'd be time for a little test. Our log's moving, winch is working. It's not necessarily a how-to video, but just the story of how I did it. I appreciate you checking it out.